Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's live stream. Thank you for joining me here today with my review of episode 5 of Rebooted, Enter the Digiverse, episode 31 overall. This episode is pretty good. Lots of good stuff about this episode that I really enjoy. But before we get into that, I do need to talk about the streaming information. Thank you all for joining us here today. I see a couple of people in the chat. Thank you very much for tuning in on this lovely Tuesday afternoon. It is Tuesday, right? Yeah. All right, cool. So for streaming, we stream Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time, with an episode review and a Q&A, and we will be updating this day by day. If there's ever a day where I can't stream, I will let you guys know. But yeah, let's talk about Enter the Digiverse. But yeah, hopefully everyone's having a good day. I see a few familiar faces in the chat. Welcome, everyone. Yes, don't be a Dareth was the hashtag that we came up with yesterday. Yeah, don't be a Dareth. Words to live by. But yeah, for those of you guys wondering what we got to drink, like the several past streams, we just got water. Might just be the norm this go round. So if I don't, keep up to date with the drink lore, it's probably water. But yeah, thank you all very much for joining us here today. As usual, we're going to let the slideshow run in the background as I talk about the episode. We're going to run over the plot, then we'll talk about the good and the bad, and then we will finally give the episode a score out of 10 at the final few moments of the episode review. So yeah, this episode's pretty good, all things considered. Pretty fun episode. I really enjoy this. This is probably one of the most iconic episodes of season 3, I'd say. For those of you guys wondering where Waffle is, she's sitting behind me on a chair right now. I think she's asleep. She stole my blanket, so usually I wrap myself in a blanket for these streams, but she stole it today, so I can't do that, so that's fun. But yeah, let's get into this episode. I'm really excited to talk about this. Lots of good stuff, so let's get to it. So the episode begins at Borg Tower, where the ninja are getting ready to be programmed into the Digiverse, which is pretty much the only way now that they can stop the digital overlord virus. So of course Borg is feeling a little bit confident in this. The ninja aren't so confident as this is experimental technology, but as we'll find out later on in the episode, it does get very, very sciency, very technologically advanced. So the ninja have that to look forward to. Meanwhile, the savages attack from the previous couple of episodes, and they just automatically assume that Borg has power, immediately tries to attack him, but they are interrupted by golden power merging through the system, and that is because in this current moment in time, the Overlord is busy extracting that golden power from Lloyd. So we get to see that in this episode, and it's crazy. Lloyd is very much in pain, and I really feel bad for him. It's really sad, all things considered. But yeah, Lloyd's power is getting taken away, and that's basically the overall plot of this episode. The ninja need to stop the Overlord as soon as possible. The Overlord is using Lloyd in order to make a physical form for himself, so yeah, obviously the ninja would need to stop him before that would happen. The Nindroids, along with Pythor and Wu, also attack the tower, and this is pretty much where the savages go on the defense for the tower, so that's fun. And overall, the ninja are basically programmed into the Digiverse at this current moment in time, and they enter into the Digiverse, and it's kind of like a VR type video game thing. I've seen a couple people compare this to Prime Empire. I feel like this is a lot more, I guess, underutilized as opposed to Prime Empire. While Prime Empire is like a fully digitized world, the Digiverse is also a world, but not as advanced. It's basically just the real world, but digitized, so that's interesting. It's not a video game as much as it is, just a digital world that the Overlord is trapped in, but it is very similar to Prime Empire in a couple of different ways. But anyway, the ninja enter the Digiverse, and it's basically video game rules. If they imagine something, they can make it happen, but they need to find the reboot port because the overall goal in this episode is to combine all the Technoblades together into the reboot port and destroy the Overlord virus. So they need to navigate this digital world, and it's not going so well. Kai especially is having a difficult time going through the Digiverse, so that's fun. Jay pretty much gets the hang of it right off the bat because of he's the video game guru of the team. Outside, the team, which is being, I guess, assaulted by the Nindroids, also tries to defend themselves, but the Overlord actually does find the ninja in the Digiverse as well, at the same time that Pythor and the other Nindroids get into the actual building. So we're basically going on the defense here. The defense in the Digiverse itself and the defense outside. So if the ninja get compromised, that's pretty much it for them. So Nia, Borg, and Pixel basically fight off the team after the Savages fail, because of course they did. Um, But yeah, overall in the Digiverse, it's not going all that well either, as the ninja have been trapped by the digital overlord, and it seems like they're gonna not be okay until Pixel finds a way in and actually frees them. So that's good on their end. The ninja keep going. Meanwhile, Nia suits up as Samurai X, so that's cool to see. It's been a while since we've seen her become Samurai X, and she basically attacks Pythor and his squad, and it doesn't really seem to be going all that well for them, obviously. Meanwhile, Cyrus Borg is actually kidnapped, leaving Pixel as the only line of defense against the actual, or to save the ninja rather, because Nia's busy, Borg is kidnapped, so Pixel's pretty much all they got in terms of helping the ninja inside the digital world and helping them on the outside. She tries her best. She puts in a couple of moves here because, of course, she does still have half of Zane's power source, so obviously she has some type of fighting style. So yeah, Pythor's voice is kind of an interesting thing because in this episode it's fully okay. The last couple of episodes it's been kind of raspy and kind of not well. Part of me is worried for Pythor's well-being. But yeah, overall, Pythor's voice, I don't know how he healed that so quickly. Um, but yeah, Borg gets captured every other week. Fair enough. I feel like that's one of his hobbies at this point. But yeah, as the chat mentions as well, he was an awesome fighter. Even without like the use of his legs, he still put in work. Unfortunately for everyone, he was kidnapped. So we'll see him later on in the season. So yeah, Borg is kidnapped. Pixel's pretty much the only line of defense, and the ninja actually do find the reboot station in the digital world until they are attacked by the Overlord once again. Meanwhile, on the outside, Garmadon actually shows up disguised as a Nindroid and basically battles against Pythor, breaking his oath because, of course, if you kidnap his son, all bets are off. I really like that line, though. Garmadon's really cool in this episode. But he fights out Pythor until Pythor escapes. He just kind of dips, so it's like, okay. But then Garmadon sees the digital Wu outside and decides to take him on instead. Meanwhile, inside the Digiverse, the Overlord and the Ninja are basically going at it a little bit. Zane can hear Lloyd. Lloyd is basically calling to the Ninja, saying that he's not alone, he's not alone. Zane recognizes this, recognizes what they need to do, and kind of unlocks Golden Power, which is kind of a big deal. I mean, Zane using Golden Power isn't something that I expected to see, but it is in the Digiverse, so I'm not so sure if this could be, if this counts as being, I guess, real. But yeah, Zane unlocks Golden Power and basically tells the other ninja to do the same, and the other ninja all kind of gain that Golden Power as well in order to light up the reboot station and kind of defeat the Overlord, except for Kai. Kai's having a little bit of issues there. Meanwhile, on the outside, Wu and Garmadon are continuing their battle on the rooftops. It seems they're on cranes and such, trying to knock each other off. It's a pretty intense battle, all things considered. Really cool. But then Kai isn't really too confident in his abilities, but eventually he does join the others and gets the will to, I guess, defeat the Overlord and gains Golden Power himself, which is very cool. So how did Zane see Lloyd? He could probably hear him as his golden power is being like destroyed by the Overlord or being absorbed by the Overlord at this moment in time. So the Overlord is in the digital world as well as the physical one, so they probably hear him through the Overlord. So I guess that's kind of the best explanation I can give out. But anyway, all the ninja get golden power. They reboot the system, and just overall, it's a pretty climactic final battle. They successfully reboot everything. All is right in the world. Everything's fine. Wu turns back to being good. All of the various Nindroids and stuff like that get rebooted as well. They don't turn good though; they're still evil, but they just kind of retreat. So I guess that's something. And all the ninja come back and celebrate their success. They were successful in the digital world, and all is right. Until we cut to Lloyd's perspective, and he's crashing out of the sky in the mech dragons. That's fun. He basically crashes into the ocean as the power basically went off, and his golden power isn't really there. He has very, very little of it left. But he does kind of show up again. He's not obviously alive, or he's not obviously dead, so he shows up again. He's fine, and he radios the rest of the ninja and lets them know that they're okay. So we will see that reunion in the next episode. Zane promises to Pixel that they will find Borg, and they still need to stop Pythor, so the season isn't over yet. Even though they did reboot the system, it's not all done. I'm not so sure what village Lloyd ended up in. Lloyd mentions that he was in a remote village, but he never really said a name. Maybe something that we've seen before. Maybe Jamanikai Village. I don't know. Just kind of depends on where he was, I guess, at the time. But yeah, Zane promises Pixel that they will find Borg, and the episode ends with the downed Overlord, or not the downed Overlord dragon, the downed Nindroid mech dragon in the bottom of the ocean as the Overlord kind of appears from the mech dragon, stating that he's free and he's in a very weak and fragile physical form. So really cool stuff there. The Overlord isn't done after all. So yeah, that'll pretty much do it for the plot. Ignacia, yeah, could be. the remote village is a village of TV remotes. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Ninjaga's become pretty tech savvy this season, so who really knows? But yeah, pretty cool stuff there. Just overall, that's basically the plot of the episode. So let's get into some good and some bad. So the actual good thing right off the bat, I do need to mention, obviously the Digiverse is insane. The Digiverse isn't really something that we had seen before. At the time that this season kind of came out, it was kind of crazy how advanced the digital world was as opposed to what we had seen previously. Nowadays, we can kind of compare it to Prime Empire, and digital worlds isn't really something that we are, I guess, a stranger to in the Ninjago community. Ninjago's had a couple of those throughout its run at this point, but the Digiverse I do need to talk about as being something good. There's a lot of cool stuff, amazing, unique, I guess, aspect here. The atmosphere is really great, and just overall, the Digiverse seems like a fun place. I would very much like to visit the Digiverse at some point, maybe when it was just a little bit, I guess, what do you call it, a little bit more finished or finalized, if you will. I also need to talk about Kai because Kai in this episode is kind of an interesting character. Kai is probably the highlight ninja for me this time, but Kai is interesting. He doesn't really like technology, obviously, but he reluctantly joins in, and he doesn't really know how to work the Digiverse. And a couple of things happen to him. Again, the large head, um, which is kind of infamous at this point. The inability to immediately get golden power when the other ninja could. Kai had a little bit of a few struggles in this episode, but at the very end, when he finally, I guess, gains his confidence and absorbs golden power for himself, that's awesome. I really liked that character moment for Kai. I thought that was a really good moment for his character, and just overall, I thought that was a very cool, I guess, instance of character development just inside an episode itself. I thought that was awesome. And Zane, obviously, using golden power is also something that I need to mention. The golden power aspect of things. I wasn't expecting it, and the rebooted suits admittedly don't look the best with golden power, in my opinion. But I do appreciate all of the ninja using golden power. Now, granted, it wasn't in the real world, but just overall, I thought that was still super cool. Meanwhile, the Overlord is physical again. At the end of the episode, we see the Overlord kind of show up a little bit, reach his hand out, and he's obviously a little bit physical. So that'll lead into the next couple of episodes, and I thought that was a very cool way to end off the episode. Kind of set it up for a nice cliffhanger there. Really enjoyed that. I also need to touch on a few other aspects of the episode. First of all, Garmadon versus Wu I thought was pretty cool. I actually really liked the episode or the moment in which they were fighting on top of the roof and on top of the cranes. That added a little bit more tension to the overall story, and I thought that was super fun. Meanwhile, Pixel and Nia put in some work as well, I guess fighting off the Nindroid army alongside Pythor and a couple of other people. Pythor kind of dipped immediately, which I wasn't too happy about. But Pixel and Nia put in a lot of work, especially with Borg as well. Borg put in some work too. Everyone basically helped out this episode, and I thought that was just an amazing dynamic to see everyone basically working together. And overall, just the spectacle of this episode is great. This is probably one of the most iconic episodes of season 3, I'd say, if not the most iconic, just because it introduced a lot of really cool concepts into the Ninjago world. And just overall, I really enjoyed how this episode kind of played with that. In terms of bad stuff, there's not a whole lot. I kind of touched on it earlier, but Pythor just kind of dips randomly, which he's needed for other episodes. Obviously, the next episode is gonna, I guess, play into that a little bit more. But overall, I didn't think that was too big of a letdown. I'm not going to take off any points for that. I just kind of assumed that Pythor would be around for a large majority of the battle. And I remember remembering when I was a kid watching this, I remember kind of thinking like, oh, all right, well, there goes Pythor. That's kind of disappointing. But yeah, overall, this episode, it's good. You guys know it's good. I think it's good. I'm going to go ahead and give this episode a final score of a 10 out of 10. Very cool stuff there. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of negatives that I could point out. This episode was really solid overall, so 10 out of 10 from me easily. Let's see what you guys got for scores. I'm going to take a sip of my beverage in the meantime. I know this episode is very iconic, so I'm kind of expecting higher scores. 100 out of 100. Good stuff. A bunch of 10s I see in the chat right away. A couple of lower scores, an 8, a 6. Fair enough. I mean, not everyone's going to enjoy this episode, but I know this is one of the most iconic episodes out there, and I really couldn't find anything majorly wrong with this. So if I had to like point out one thing, it would be again the whole Pythor thing. But we'll see more of Pythor in the future episodes, so I'm not too bent out of shape about that. Obviously, I gave the episode a 10, so 10 out of 10 because golden ninjas. Yes, absolutely. Jumping out the window out of 10. Interesting score. Um, yeah, pretty cool stuff overall. Obviously, this episode is very iconic, but the next couple of episodes are going to play into, I guess, the later aspects of Rebooted a little bit, like a post Technoblade era. So I'm really excited to talk about that, especially the next episode that we will get to tomorrow, which is going to be Codename Arcturus. Very cool stuff. But yeah, that'll pretty much do it for my review of Enter the Digiverse. I thought this episode was really well done. A really cool thing about this episode was the Digiverse itself. So I hope we see that more in future seasons. Again, Prime Empire kind of touched on that a lot. So just overall, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my review. But of course, that's not going to do it for the stream. We got the rest of the stream to cover Q&A. So obviously, this episode review went a little quickly. Usually, it takes up 20 minutes. We're about 19 minutes in right now, but there's not really a whole lot of bad stuff. The last couple of episodes had a few things that I wanted to talk about in terms of negativity, but this episode's not so bad. I also added the movie pictures on there as well. Some of you guys were asking about that yesterday in the stream, so we got movie pictures, so maybe we'll start off with that and then kind of continue as we go on. So we're going to let the Ninjago movie run in the background for the first time on this stream, so that's fun. Really like that. So yeah, let's get some questions in the chat. Anything you guys want to know about? Basically opening up the door to anything at this point. So let's see what you guys got for me. Can I make a video on how to become a Lego YouTuber? Um, I could do a video talking about like maybe a couple of tips and tricks and whatnot. I guess the main thing that I would say, and it's kind of like the main thing that I say to anyone who's trying to start off like a Lego channel, try to be consistent with uploads. That's pretty much what I do. I mean, I upload a few times during the day, and I try to make sure that I'm consistent with that. Um, but yeah, try to be consistent, have fun with it. Don't treat it like a job right off the bat, and just enjoy your time on here. Started off as a hobby, and if it develops into a job, well, then that's just all the more fun. Like I started off YouTube as a hobby. I always kind of was into doing videos and stuff like that. Even before I actually started uploading onto YouTube, I would just record videos. Um, but yeah, eventually it became a job for me, and I feel like overall I'm really lucky to be in this position. But yeah, just try to have fun with it and just do your best. So, and don't be discouraged as well. Rank all the Ninjago episodes. After the streams get done, I am planning on doing a video similar to that, so stay tuned for that. I also need to touch on something really quick. In case you guys have not seen the video that I put out earlier today, it's called Cows. Feel free to check that out. Put a lot of work into that one, so hopefully you guys enjoy that. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the movie background as well. Why does Dareth enjoy harassing people? Because he's Dareth. Remember what we said yesterday. Don't be a Dareth. Don't be a Dareth. Don't harass people. Don't do anything. Just don't exist. Don't be a don't be a Dareth. Cows. Yeah, I talk about milking content and the misconceptions that follow that. So it's a pretty fun video. I kind of recorded it a couple of different times because I wasn't happy with like the final result every single time I recorded it. So probably spent maybe an hour on that, just trying to record that. Like, Dareth is the new Karen. Yes, I agree. But yeah, I also want to touch on something that I have noticed when I woke up. So I've only been up for maybe like an hour at this point. Um, but I noticed when I woke up, a couple of YouTubers have been posting reviews for the new Ninjago Legacy stuff, which I think is awesome. Obviously, LEGO's been sending out the sets to a couple of YouTubers early. I'm not that lucky, unfortunately. I never got an email about that or anything like that. I'm pretty sure they have to sign up for the Lego Ambassador Network thing, which I'm not a part of, so makes sense. But I don't mind waiting for a couple of weeks until the sets come out here. I'd rather kind of purchase them myself. But I did want to touch on that really quick too, just in case you guys were curious. Yes, there are reviews up on YouTube by other Lego YouTubers that are going to be covering some of the new Legacy sets. So hopefully you guys will enjoy those. I know I'm going to check out a couple of them later on. But yeah, I really think that those people are very fortunate, and I'm happy that LEGO is kind of sending out some legacy stuff early. But yeah, as I said, it's only a couple of weeks until they come out here in the States, so I don't mind waiting. I'm not going to buy every single legacy set that comes out, so I don't really mind not getting the whole wave. I know for sure I want the Overlord Dragon, I want the Tournament of Elements, I want the Titan Mech, so I don't know. I'm kind of debating whether or not I should get the X1 Charger or the Boulder Blaster. What do you guys think? Are any of those sets worth getting? The Boulder Blaster or the X1? I'm kind of on the fence about those, and obviously I'm only going to get one of the Epic Battle sets because I don't want all of them. Probably just get Zane's because he has the hairpiece. So If I could be any Ninjago character, who would I be? I think I would rather, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I think I'd be Garmadon, because Garmadon's awesome. If we're talking about specifically the Ninjago movie, I'd be Garmadon, because Garmadon in the movie is hilarious. He's one of the best parts. So I feel like I could be, I feel like I'd make a good Garmadon. I'd love to be movie Garmadon. Even like current Garmadon in the show right now isn't all that bad. So I'd say Garmadon actually. That could be fun. So, but yeah, I want season 14. Yeah, I want season 14 too. Do I have pilot slides? I do not actually, so I can make a note of that and perhaps add it for tomorrow's stream. Have I started decorating my Christmas tree yet? Yes, we have the tree up in the kitchen. The apartment's kind of tiny, so we don't really have like a full tree, but we just have like a little baby tree out on the kitchen table. So yeah, we've decorated that with we have a couple of like anime keychains and stuff like that that we put up on the tree. So we've tried to decorate it the best we can. We don't have like a big box of ornaments and stuff like that. So everyone loves movie Garmadon. Poor Sensei Garmadon. Yeah, Sensei Garmadon's cool too. I'd rather have him be a sensei than Master Wu, for being honest, because I feel like Garmadon makes the better teacher. But overall, I mean, movie Garmadon is just hilarious, and there's not really a whole lot else I can say about that. He's one of the highlights of the Ninjago movie for me. Um, so I feel like people that I guess don't really know about Ninjago, I feel like they all love Garmadon. Like my roommate, she doesn't really know a whole lot about Ninjago, but I showed her the Ninjago movie, and she absolutely loved Garmadon, and she's got like little Garmadon minifigures now. So I guess Garmadon's just a popular character overall. So I think it's kind of cool though. I'm trying to get her to watch the rest of Ninjago, but all she's seen is the movie and a couple of episodes of season 13. So hashtag be ninja. Do you think Lloyd would still go candy crazy? I would hope not. I feel like it'd be funny if he still like had an obsession with like candy, so that could be fun. Um, but yeah, in the modern day, I feel like he kind of grew out of that, or at least I would hope so. I will be doing a video later on, probably going to be going up tomorrow, talking about a very interesting scene in Ninjago involving Lloyd. So it's one of the most adult scenes in Ninjago, and I don't want to go into detail regarding that, but I'm just putting it out there. I will be doing a video covering the most adult-oriented scene that I could find from Ninjago. So let me know in the chat if you guys have any predictions as to what scene that would be. So yeah, I'll give you a hint. It's a scene from season 5. So drinking Coca-Cola. That's awesome. I'm drinking water. We ran out of soda a couple of days ago, and I haven't got around to going to the store since. So obviously, I don't mind water. Water is probably the best liquid that you could possibly put into your body. So, what's your favorite suits? Mine's Deep Stone. Oh, that's a good choice. I would say that my favorite ninja suits altogether would be the Sons of Garmadon suits. I feel like that could be awesome. All of those suits together are amazing. So me just eating ice. Yeah, we got ice too. Our freezer is always kind of packed just because there's always like a bag of ice in there at any given moment. So season 5 is the worst season. Yeah, everyone's got their own opinions. I would disagree with that. I'd say one of the worst seasons is either season 11 or Day of the Departed, if you can count that as a season. So, can I do a tier list of all the ninja suits and who wore it best to worst within each ninja? Oh yeah, that could be fun. I'll write that down as a possible idea in case you guys wanted to see that, in case more of you guys want to see that. Um, but yeah, I'm not against doing that. I could totally do that eventually. That'd be kind of like a longer video to make though, and I'd have to make a few more hours of time for that. So we'll see what we can do about that. I wrote it down as a possible idea. So see, I don't really take viewer requests all that often, but in case there's an idea that's like on my list that you guys want to see, I'll write it down and I'll like bump it up on the list a little bit because I have like a backlog of videos that I'd like to do at one point. So um, talking to you guys on stream um, would help. Do I know Mind, as in Bricks by Mind? I do not know him. I know of him, but I do not know him like personally. I haven't really talked to him as far as I can remember. So yeah, I don't really know a whole lot of people throughout the Ninjago community. I don't really talk to like a fair amount of like other YouTubers, if you will. So like I know that people exist, obviously, but I'm just like not super invested. It's not like I'm like friends with people or anything like that. I do have friends, but you know, specifically him, no, I don't know him. Season 10 is the worst. I feel like season 10's underrated. Season 10, I feel like March of the Oni is one of the best parts about Ninjago. I feel like it's good so much that I'm going to switch over to it. How about that? He did an amazing review on the Tournament of Element sets. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I haven't really been watching his stuff as of late, but I do want to check out a few of those reviews, specifically his, and also TTV has been posting a couple of reviews related to the Ninjago Legacy set, so I want to check them out too, and I want to see what they're all about, because maybe that'll help me make a decision behind which ones I want to get, whether that be the X1 or the Boulder Blaster, because I'm still on the fence about those. I don't know if I want those or not. I mean, they are convincing. I had both of the originals when I was younger, but I don't know. I already have the Kai Fighter, so I don't need another Kai vehicle here. And I already have Cole's mech from Rebooted, from the new Legacy Thunder Raider, so it's not like I need the Boulder Blaster, but you know, I'm still toying with the idea of getting those. I know for sure, though, again, I'm getting Overlord Dragon. Um, what are the other ones? I forget now. Drawing a blank. The Titan Mech, and come on, the Overlord Dragon, the Titan Mech, and the Tournament of Elements. My mind just kind of exploded there for a second. Red or gray Nia, hashtag don't be a Dareth. I feel like Nia works better as like a gray ninja or a silver ninja. I think that idea, or that color for Nia, is like a pretty perfect idea. I never really thought that the crimson red would work with that, or would work with Nia. I feel like it worked at the start, but I'm glad that she actually found her own color, so I hope that she kind of sticks with that. With season 14, she's kind of getting a mix of, I guess, the azure blue and the silver, so I guess that's something. But you know, just overall, I feel like gray suits her better. Lots of "don't be a Dareth" in the chat. I feel like that's a really popular hashtag now. I'm happy with that. Don't be a Dareth. I mean, it's words to live by. You know, it's like that'll help a lot of you guys out in life. It's like, just don't be a Dareth. But yeah, gray works better for Nia. What if Mr. E returned? That could be fun. Maybe they could actually play with the idea of Mr. E being Echo Zane, which was always the original idea, but it got cut from Sons of Garmadon because they had too much going on in Season 8 to, I guess, warrant an entire backstory for Echo Zane, so they kind of made them two separate characters. But maybe if they brought Mr. E back, maybe they could explore that idea. I feel like that could be fun. Um, do I know when Ninjago changed from Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu to just Ninjago? I feel like that has to do with the studios changing, because after March of the Oni ended, they obviously changed studios. They were no longer working at Wilfilm. Ninjago moved to a different studio, but I feel like that's why they did that, because technically season 11 onwards is like a new series, if you will, but it's not like a new, it's not like a reboot. It's not like it doesn't connect. It most certainly does, but it's just like technically labeled as a new thing, a new entity. It's kind of like how you got it's kind of like a sequel, if you will. Say Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu is like the first movie. The second one would be, just Ninjago with season 11 onwards. So I consider it to be like a sequel series, but it's still obviously, a continuation. Still season 11, 12, 13, all that kind of stuff. It's not seasons 1, 2, and 3, like a couple of sources point out. So what if the Venetian buyer is a cookie? I will do a backflip off the roof of my house if it is a cookie. I know that I still have to do a backflip off the porch. My roommate won't let me do that because she's worried I'll get hurt. So if you have complaints, talk to her about that. um, so yeah, the original format was perfect. 10 episodes for one season. How ideal is that? Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like that's pretty much where Ninjago hit its peak, if you will. 10 episodes per season was a very solid thing. I also don't mind, the 16 episodes per season thing that we're kind of getting nowadays. I don't feel like that hurts Ninjago. For example, Prime Empire and Master of the Mountain, even though the episodes are shorter in runtime, it still has the same runtime as something like Rebooted, which is just, a full season of 22-minute episodes, but that only had 8 episodes, so um, but yeah, it's kind of the same runtime, so I don't think it decreases the value. I just feel like in terms of like organization, I feel like the 10 episode limit was like perfect. So stop saying I'll do backflips off of high places. I'll live. Don't worry. Prefer the old format, but I do like the new format. Yeah, I feel like that's how a lot of people think. I know I kind of prefer the older format too, but I have gotten used to the new one though. If we would go back to the old format anytime soon, I feel like that would be a kind of like a jarring thing. So um, I honestly don't mind the newer format. It's fine in my opinion. What if there was a candy ninja? I'm not sure if candy could be an element, but if the candy ninja was a thing, I feel like everybody would probably eat him. Like I know Cole would be on him if anything had like cake or chocolate. So that could be fun. How do I make my intro? I edit all my stuff using Windows Movie Maker. It's like the most basic editing software out there, but it gets the job done. It's not like it diminishes the value of the video or anything. It's like if I were to make my videos using a different editing software, they would look the exact same. Like the reason why I don't put a lot of, I guess, footage in my videos is because Lego said no, 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 you can't put footage in your video. So obviously I can't do that. So I basically just have screenshots. So yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, but it's just realistic. That's basically what we're working with. I know some people have like criticized my videos for that aspect, but obviously it's not like in my control. It's something that Lego's doing. So I would very much love to use footage. I feel like that would make my videos a lot more entertaining, but yeah, Lego just doesn't allow me to do that. So I must have a lot of screenshots. Yeah, I got a couple of folders on my computer. I got a folder dedicated to Ninjago screenshots, and then inside that folder, I have the screenshots divided up by season. So depending on what I'm doing on a video, say if I'm talking about like the Skull Sorcerer, for example, I'll go into my season 13 folder and just put some screenshots in the video. Do I think YouTube is hard? Yeah, yes and no. I feel like overall doing YouTube as a job is fun. So in that aspect, I wouldn't consider it to be hard, but like doing videos can sometimes get frustrating, especially if I'm working like 7 to 8 hours a day, like I've said in previous videos. It can get frustrating sometimes. Sometimes my software crashes and the file gets corrupted, or sometimes I lose progress. So it can be discouraging at some times, but overall, I find it to be a really fun and enjoyable experience. So I don't really consider it to be overall hard or difficult or anything like that. Where do I think Lloyd keeps his candy stash? Who knows? It's somewhere in that monastery, man. I am sure of it. Do I think Lloyd will ever have a new love interest now since Harumi's dead? And there's an emoji of a skull, a coffin, and like a flopped over rose. Yeah, I feel like Lloyd could get a new love interest eventually. I feel like they could always incorporate Akita into the story a little more because I thought she was pretty good for Lloyd. I made a post on Instagram yesterday talking about Harumi and Moro being a ship, which I ship it. I can see them together. I feel like that would work. Yeah, Lloyd has to hide all of his candy from Cole. Yeah, exactly. I imagine it's just like a war zone on the monastery grounds over candy, and then Wu comes out and basically beats everybody because yeah. Yeah, they have to train. I enjoy Wu from like season 11 onwards. He's kind of like a jerk, but he's a jerk in a good way. You know, like he has to be assertive with the ninja now because they just don't care. So I don't really mind Wu. I know a couple of people complain about his character, but I don't know. I think he's fine. Yeah, I feel like Harumi and Moro could work out. Yeah, they're both dead former villains. And plus, Tommy Andreasen said that he ships it too. So I got Tommy Andreasen on my side with that ship. So maybe they could be a departed realm couple or something like that. Who knows? Would I rather meet Dareth or get demonetized? I'll suck it up and meet Dareth if it meant that I could keep doing YouTube as a job. Maybe we can like go out for coffee or something. I'm not gonna like hang out with him all day, but maybe maybe some coffee would be fine. Um, and then I would obviously get sick because I can't drink coffee. Am I ever going to do a face reveal? No pressure. Yeah, my face reveal's been a thing for a while. It's been out there. If you just do a Google search for my face, you can find it. Also, in a few videos coming up, I might be showing my face. A little bit of hints and winks there. Obviously, though, I do have the quarantine look going right now. My hair is a little long. My face is a little scruffy. So, quarantine look. But yeah, my face will be out there in a few more videos very, very soon because I'm working with some very cool people at the moment to make some very cool videos. So stay tuned for that. They involve my face as well. So yeah, stay tuned for that. You'll see it very soon if you guys haven't seen it yet. So no worries. The hate for Dareth is real. Yeah, that's what we do here on these streams, man. We just hate Dareth. Nah, he's all right. We started a hashtag yesterday. Don't be a Dareth. Words to live by. Again. Ninjago COVID mask confirmed for season 15. Yeah, be like the ninja. Wear a mask and don't be a Dareth. There you go. I feel like that's like the best quotes that this channel has come up with, man. Don't be a Dareth. What's Harumi and Mara's ship name? Marumi or or the other one. I'm not going to say the other one because out loud it kind of sounds a little wrong, but I'm going to say Marumi. Why do I like Jay and Cole being a perfect couple? Jay and Cole, I feel like is like one of those ships that I really want to see happen, but I feel like it won't, obviously, because Jay's with Nia and Cole is by himself. I consider Cole to be with Vanya at this point, but Jay and Cole, I ship them. I feel like that could be awesome if they were together. So I don't know. I just really like how they look together, I guess. I feel like they would play really well off of each other, but I also do think that they are just besties, nothing more, nothing less. Um, yeah, saw the Zane's voice actor interview, and it's funny how he didn't realize that your logo is actually Zane's logo. Yeah, when I interviewed Brent Miller, I'm pretty sure he said that he didn't know that my logo was actually Zane's logo, which it is. The logo on my channel is Zane's symbol. I've played with a couple of different symbols over my channel's career. I know for a couple of moments there it was Kai's symbol, then it was Jay's for a little bit, but then I settled on Lloyd, or not Lloyd, I settled on Zane, and that's basically what it's been for years now. But yeah, Brent Miller, of course, like didn't recognize that, which obviously is okay. I mean, the voice actors of Ninjago, they're amazing people, so can't really fault them for that, honestly. Um, what do you think about Nia and Skylar? Would they be a good couple? I don't think so. I feel like they would fight too much, honestly. I feel like they're kind of opposite ends of the thing, if you will. I don't feel like they're that compatible. I feel like Kai and Skylar is a better match overall. So Nia, I feel like works better with Jay, but I also think Jay would work really well with Cole. So it's kind of weird to figure out. You know, it's kind of like I could go either way. Let's switch up the background. Let's go to season 11. As I take a sip of my water super fast. There we go. Now, sometimes my throat just gets a little dry when I do these streams, so yeah, Nina and Skylar work better as friends. Yeah, I agree. I feel like they're going to be pretty cool friends, you know, sister-in-law, that type of thing. Which, you know, if Kai eventually does marry Skylar, then that could be a reality. Is Klaus still alive? I feel like he's still out there somewhere. He's got to be. They could bring him back at some point. He's probably still creeping around somewhere. I know in the Dark Island trilogy he was like the main villain, but I can't really recall what happened to him after that. So I don't know if he's still creeping around or not. I have a feeling that he is, though. So I can always bring him back at some point. Pixel and Zane are the best couple. Yeah, Pixel and Zane are pretty much one of the most solid Ninjago couples of all time. They've been a thing since season 3, and it's just amazing. Overall, I feel like they are one of the best couples. What do I think of Nia and Pixel? Nah, I don't really see them being a thing. What's my favorite bad guy? Either Garmadon, the Overlord, or let's pick someone that we haven't really talked about before. Well, I know I've said Chen before. Chen's one of my favorite villains too. Um, I think if I had to pick a villain that I don't really talk about a lot, maybe honestly, well, Harumi, but maybe Kozu. I think Kozu's a pretty good villain overall. He's not obviously not like a main antagonist, but I think he's kind of underrated. But yeah, my favorite villains are definitely Garmadon, the Overlord, Chen, stuff like that. I feel like those are all the best villains. Nia and Pixel are best sisters. Yeah, I agree with that. Are Jay and Nia married? Yes, according to March of the Oni, they are doing like the yin yang promise, which I guess is like the Ninjago equivalent of marriage or a proposal. Sander with the donation, thank you very much. Yeah, thanks a lot. Those donations help out quite a bit with food and whatnot, so thank you very, very much. Obviously, everyone being here is great too for support, so yeah, thanks again, Sander, for the donation. You are awesome. Yeah, Jay and Nia, I'd say, are basically engaged. They're doing like the yin yang promise thing, as I said earlier. So I guess that's the Ninjago equivalent of being engaged or married or whatever. So I don't know if we saw like the actual wedding. Maybe that happened in between seasons, or maybe we could see that in a future season. Jay cheated on Nia in season 13. No, I feel like he was just trying to amuse the queen of the months there, because obviously she had a thing for Zane, or not Zane, but for Jay. So I feel like he was just trying to amuse her. I don't really think he's like, cheated on Nia or anything like that. It's not really realistic. How do I do YouTube? Well, basically what I do is I, get on camera, talk about Ninjago for a little bit, and then I try to edit it down, extract some audio, upload the actual video, make a thumbnail. Overall, the whole process takes a couple of hours per video. It also doesn't really help that obviously you guys can see on my live stream, obviously you can tell that this is live and my voice kind of jumps all over the place. It's not the most, I guess, secure thing out there. Sometimes I ramble and sometimes my voice does like the little voice cracky thing, which isn't all that fun, but I usually edit those out of videos. So usually it takes me a couple tries to record a video. So just letting you guys know that. You guys are seeing like the uh, full extent of my voice live on the stream. So, but yeah, for videos, I usually try to edit it down. So that's why it usually takes a a little bit longer than what I need to. So, yeah, my voice cracks a lot. Sometimes you guys hear it on the stream. Sometimes you guys don't. Just depends on whether or not I'm having a good day. But yeah, usually I edit those out of videos. So, it takes me a couple tries to record. So that's why it usually takes me a couple of hours to record a video. um, don't be a Darren. Am I gonna sing a song of that? Maybe we can make a song. If someone wanted to make a song, okay, real talk. If somebody made a song called "Don't Be a Dareth," sung the whole thing, and sent it to me, I would give you guys the biggest shout out of all time. Somebody make that a song. So, and send it to me on Discord or something like that, and I will shout you out. So, I feel like that'd be awesome. So get to it. I gave you guys homework. um, no, I'm just jiggling. You guys don't need to do that. What's my favorite Ninjago voice actor? They're all super fun. You can't really, I guess, label any of them as being better than the other. They're all really great, and it's kind of interesting because they are real people, so it's not like they're characters or anything like that. I find it a little bit more difficult to like, rank real life voice actors. So I'd say they're all really good. Everybody's good at what they do. Everybody's great. So obviously, I don't really have an issue with anybody. They're all great people, all fantastic voice actors. So I feel like they all do a really, really good job. In terms of like the best ninja voice, like if I had to say like which ninja's voice I think suits the character best, honestly, I think Lloyd's new voice actor kind of fits his character a little bit more. Obviously, Sam Vincent came in and replaced Gillian Michaels as Lloyd, starting from season 8 onward, and I feel like that works out very well. But yeah, I do need to say once again, yeah, Kirby Morrow passing isn't the most fortunate thing to happen. So once again, condolences go out towards his family and all affected. Um, but yeah, he was great as Cole, obviously too. That's why it's kind of hard to like say which voice is my favorite because everyone does a good job. It's kind of difficult to rank voice actors. Do I still watch Brent's channel? Yeah, occasionally I do. Not as much as I probably should, but I still feel like he makes good content. I check it out occasionally. I watch a lot of his interviews with the other voice actors and such. Like I went back and watched the Kirby Morrow interview after his unfortunate passing, so it was a nice little tribute to him, in my opinion. So, how was the Ninjago movie cast casted? I feel like they were just casted based off of their own abilities. I don't feel like they actually looked into like the TV show at all. I don't feel like they tried to mash up those voices. I feel like they tried to do what they wanted to do for the movie. But I honestly like all of those voice actors too. Like some of them are really good actors. Like Michael Pena as Kai is like brilliant. I feel like that's like the best thing that could have happened to Kai. Jackie Chan as Wu obviously is really good. So like in the movie, it's not like they're bad either. The movie's awesome in terms of like their voice cast. So I don't really have an issue with anyone in that cast. So I feel like they're all really good. But yeah, obviously they are different from the show, which is going to upset a few people. But I personally think it's okay. I love your videos. Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks for all the positive comments. I've been getting a lot of positive comments lately, so thank you guys very much for that. It helps keep me going. It helps me stay motivated. So thank you all very much for getting the channel to where it is. I actually like Dave Franco as Lloyd. Yeah, I do too. I feel like he does a good job. Honestly, all of the movie actors do a pretty good job. There's not like one that I don't like. Obviously, I prefer the voice actors in the TV show, which I feel like everybody kind of does. Um, but overall, I don't feel like it's too big of an issue there. I don't think anyone else is experiencing lag, so it might just be your connection. According to my setup here, we're fine. We haven't dropped any frames or anything like that, so. Last we saw of Jay being protected of Nia was in season 12. Um, New Jay is not very confident. Yeah, I would agree with that. Their relationship's fun though. I like the dynamic that they have. Jay and Nia, their banter is super fun. So, whereas Kai's blacksmith shop in Ninjago, that is located in the village of Ignacia, however you want to pronounce that, to my knowledge. So, it's kind of I don't know where it is like in location, like in I guess relation to like Ninjago City, but there is like a Ninjago map that exists out there somewhere where you can go ahead and check out where everything is. And Ninjago is basically a huge island, so lots of cities, lots of stuff going on there. So in terms of where stuff is, there's a map out there that says so, but I don't have access to that at this current moment in time. Can I have pancakes? Yeah, man, go for it. Anyone can make anything they want. Who's going to be the new voice of Cole? We don't know yet. Obviously, thankfully, Kirby Morrow had recorded his lines for season 14 and season 15. Presumably, they just said that he recorded everything for 2021. So that'll keep things going for a while. But yeah, overall, I don't really know what they're going to do with that. I feel like they are going to recast eventually, but I don't think that we have an idea of who it's going to be just yet. But obviously, whoever it is, I don't feel like they're gonna live up to Kirby's memory, if we're being honest. And I feel like most people can agree with that. But um, obviously, it is what it is, and we will see what happens with that later on. Did Waffle appear in the Ninjago movie? Yeah. So my cat Waffle, she it looks very similar to the cat from the Ninjago movie, which I feel like is awesome. Meowthra, but no, that wasn't her. Um, as far as I'm concerned, that was someone entirely different. So yeah, different kitty, if you will. Do I think Echo Zane will return? He could return at some point. I feel like that could be an interesting way to bring his character back. I feel like he definitely deserves to come back at some point in time. So I definitely feel like he could, but I don't know if he will. Um, yeah. Yeah, Kirby will be missed. Obviously, it's not really something that we know a whole lot about, but I feel like for the sake of Ninjago, they will eventually just recast, unless they find like a different way to write out Cole as a character. But I don't know. I honestly feel like they have an idea, but I don't know anything about that, and speculating about it does kind of make me a little sad. So let's move on. When is Waffle's birthday? We don't know. We actually got her from one of my roommate's friends who was actually having a baby at the time, and they couldn't have the cats around, so we decided to take Waffle, and their other cat went to her mom, if I'm remembering correctly. So we got Waffle, but I'm not so sure how old she is. I don't know when her birthday is, anything like that. So we might go get her checked out here eventually. But yeah, Waffle, we've only had her for a couple of months, so we don't know a whole lot about her as of yet. She's kind of a mystery, but she does follow me around a lot. She's basically like my shadow, which I am kind of, happy about. Like, Waffle's cute. She's a cute cat. She follows me around everywhere, so that's awesome. Even right now, she's like sitting behind me on the chair. She usually is in the room during streams, so um, yeah. Is Dareth the elemental master of harassing people? He might as well be at this point. Nelson can whoop Dareth. Yeah, who would win in a fight, Nelson or Dareth? Let's get that in the chat. Right now, every day is Waffle's birthday. Yeah, exactly. She basically acts like every day is her birthday. She has developed a little bit of a relationship, if you will, with one of our other kitties known as Blaze. So her and Blaze get along really well. They hang out a lot, so it's kind of cute. Have I ever had a dog? Yeah, I've had all kinds of pets throughout my life. When I was born, my dad had a dog and two cats, and I've been around like dogs and cats basically my whole life. So, um, bunch of votes for Nelson. Yeah, Nelson would definitely win. You got the Mountain Dew today? Nah, we got water. Just a plain old water bottle. Trying to keep it pure, keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Nelson can run over Dareth with his bike. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Nelson would win. Like, think about it realistically here. Dareth has no fighting ability whatsoever, and Nelson actually knows what he's doing. Of course, yeah, he might be like broken in a couple of spots depending on what day of the week it is, but he can put up a fight. You know what I'm saying? He can definitely take on Dareth. Now, even with Nelson's injuries, he would definitely defeat Dareth. I do like Nelson's episode in season 11 though, where you kind of pan across like all of the different pictures of Nelson's injuries. That'd be awesome. Yeah, Nelson should get the wind element. I honestly feel like that could happen at some point. Nelson deserves to be a ninja. And then, he appeared in season 11 for a reason, I feel. And he was in season 12 a little bit as a cameo. So I feel like he might return very soon. And maybe, in fact, he could be one of the new ninja, the purple ninja of wind. That'd be awesome. I should have a waffle cam. I really should. I could set it up like on the chair because she usually just sits on my chair. I'm late. What's the score for the episode? We gave it a 10 out of 10 today. Obviously, when the stream gets done, and this goes for anybody. Obviously, when the stream gets done, it's all wrapped up. It'll be uploaded onto YouTube as a video. So feel free to go ahead and check out the stream if you would like to after the stream gets done here. And in case you guys ever miss a stream and want to get caught up on what was said, you guys can obviously play back all of the different streams. They are all in their individual playlists, so they're easily accessible on the channel. So thank you guys very much for that. Hopefully you guys enjoy those. Nelson's just riding his bike, going faster and faster. When all of a sudden he's flying with his bike, yo, that'd be awesome. That'd be a great way actually to reveal that he has powers. That'd be amazing. I want to see that happen now. Do I prefer anime or Lego? As an overall thing, well, Lego right now, the only thing I'm invested in is Ninjago. Well, with some animes that I enjoy, there's a bunch more stuff. So anime opens up the door to a lot more things and a lot more shows and concepts. While Lego is the only thing I'm into is Ninjago at this point because there hasn't really been another Lego theme that has come out that I actually enjoy besides Ninjago. I mean, the last one was Bionicle, so and obviously that ended. Do I still buy Lego? Yeah, I do. I buy a lot of Ninjago, but that's like the only thing that I buy because, like I said, there's like nothing else, which is kind of disappointing. I want there to be more things out there for Lego that I enjoy, but there's just not. I mean, Monkey Kid is great in terms of like a show, but the actual sets I don't care for. So obviously, Ninjago is kind of all I got at this point. Have I ever voice acted? Very, very, I guess, little. I've done in terms of voice acting. I voice acted for a couple of Ninjago fan videos, like way back in the day, like when I started my channel like 3 years ago, or when I started to actually get an audience. So I guess I can say I have voice acted, but not professionally, just for like videos online. So these are the best streams on YouTube. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Day of the Departed ending music is pretty good in my own opinion. Yeah, exactly. Day of the Departed is kind of poor in terms of an overall structure, but I feel like the actual music is one of the best things, and I mentioned that in a couple of videos prior. I feel like the music of Day of the Departed is its best aspect because the story itself isn't so great, the actual voice acting isn't super great, the dialogue isn't super great, but the music is phenomenal. So you have great streams to keep everyone engaged. Thank you very much. I mean, I appreciate that very much. Um, Obviously, positivity is something that I enjoy, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying these streams because they're fun for me to make. They're fun for me to, I guess, broadcast, and hopefully, it's fun for you guys to tune in and talk out in the chat, and just hang out. So, um, do you have a favorite quirk in My Hero? I like Todoroki's power. Half hot, half cold. That's cool. That's like as cool as you can get. Half fire, half ice. That's just awesome. That's just a recipe for overpowered. I wish Ninjago had won the music award. Yeah, they definitely deserve it. Ninjago music is great, and I want to do a video eventually talking about soundtracks in Ninjago. The only issue is like with talking about like Ninjago soundtracks, I would like to play like the soundtrack itself in the video, but it's kind of difficult for me to do that because of copyright. So it's kind of weird to talk about music and not actually showcase the music. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically my only restriction. Can I do more Ninjago tributes? Yeah, I would like to at some point. The only issue with that is like time restraints. I'm not so sure if I could keep up with my regular video production and also do a tribute, but I would like to at one point. I have good ideas for tributes, I feel, so I would very much like to do that eventually. But I need to make a lot of time for it. And the rest of the month is going to be kind of busy for me, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to work on that at any time soon, but I do have ideas. Ideas are coming. With a few minutes left in the stream, you guys, let's go ahead and turn it over to rapid fire questions. Anything that I can answer in just a quick sentence or two to round out the stream. It feels like it went pretty quick today. These streams go by super fast as well. Have you ever thought about using copyright-free music? Well, I use a few hints of music in my videos. Most of it isn't picked up by the copyright system, so that's good. But yeah, in terms of like an actual music video, I can't really make a video with music in it without it getting picked up by copyright. So, Zane or Cole, I prefer Cole. He's the best. He's the best out of those two options, in my opinion. So, how do I get almost 1K every hour? In terms of what views, or well, in terms of views, it just kind of depends on what video it is and whether or not people are interested. So, what's my favorite season? Season 4 by far. Sons of Garmadon is a close second, and then Master of the Mountain is my third favorite. So, top 3 just there. Vermilion Generals versus Dareth, who would win? Man, I'd probably pick the Vermilion Generals. That's like asking me to pick between like 2 garbage bags. How did Garmadon kill Mustake? We don't know. Mustake just kind of died, and she died off screen, so who knows how Garmadon finished her off. Did I already do the video with the fold? No comment. You'll just have to stay tuned. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. If I could voice act as any ninja slash character Ninjago, who would it be? I'd like to be, if I could be like a character, I think I'd like to be like one of the new villains or something like that. I feel like I could do a really good villainous role, if you will. I feel like that could be fun. I don't want to like play an established character because I just don't want to, I don't want to take the spot of another voice actor. But maybe I could be a new character if Ninjago would hire me. Please hire me. I have good ideas. At least I think. What's my least favorite season? Day of the Departed, if you can count it a season. Otherwise, season 11. Especially the fire chapter. It's just kind of the weakest season in my opinion, but there are good things to enjoy about it. Do I think Lloyd and Jay would be a good ship? Realistically, probably not. I feel like they work better with other people. You'd be great as Kai. I think, I don't know, maybe. I appreciate it. Why Master Wu barely uses power. I don't know, maybe he's trying to teach the ninja something, but I feel like he does have a lot of powers that we could definitely see in later seasons, so who knows. Why does everyone hate Day of the Departed? Well, I personally don't like it because of poor dialogue, poor character development, just poor everything. It's just not great. The writing is kind of weird. The actual setting isn't all that great. The fights are awkward to look at. So I could see you voicing Kai. Maybe I could do a Kai. I don't know. I haven't thought about me being Kai before. If anyone needs like voice acting for Ninjago fan projects, hit me up. Maybe I can be your Kai. But yeah, just feel free to send me an email if you want something like that, obviously. Let's answer one more question before we round out the stream here. Okay, we could do that. That's actually a good question. What's my favorite season in terms of music? So talking about music isn't something that I can do videos, so I'm glad I can talk about it like on stream. But my favorite season in terms of music is definitely the first season. Season 1 had a lot of iconic Ninjago soundtracks that kind of carries over to other seasons, but season 1 kind of hit it big with the soundtracks, especially in terms of Zane's character. The Sacred Flute tune I feel like is very impressive. Just overall, season 1 I feel like has the best music. So that's basically gonna, I guess, answer that question. But yeah, season 1 I feel like has the best music. Can't really beat it. Very iconic tunes overall. So that'll pretty much wrap it up for the stream. Again, very quick today. It was an hour, but it felt like it went by pretty fast. So let's go ahead and do the end of the stream tradition. A couple of you guys have already started. Everybody spam hug in the chat as I go over the streaming info. So we stream Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time, with an episode review and a Q&A, and we will be updating this day by day. If there's ever a day where I can't stream, I will let you guys know via my community tab. Look at all the hugs in the chat. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I say it every time. It's just awesome. But yeah, that'll just about wrap it up for the stream there. Thanks a lot for tuning into this stream. I had a lot of fun this go round. These streams are super fun for me to make, and hopefully they're super fun for you to check out. If you're just joining us here at the end and would like to check out the rest of the stream, in a few minutes the stream will be uploaded onto my channel as a video, so feel free to check it out in case you guys missed anything or in case you guys want to watch it again. But yeah, as always, yeah, don't be a Dareth. Live your life. Be a Clancy. Exactly. Don't be a Dareth, be a Clancy. So that'll pretty much wrap it up for the stream, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks a lot for talking. Thanks a lot for staying tuned for the episode review. Thanks a lot for just hanging out. So I'm going to go ahead and get to it. I got a few more videos coming out today for you guys. Stay tuned for those. And I will catch you guys in tomorrow's stream where we will talk about Codename Arcturus. So I will catch you guys in the next stream. Thank you guys very much for watching. Have a fantastic rest